There are 7 ranks of intentions. How many ranks? 7. I'm going to quickly enumerate them to you. We start with the highest rank, the best intention ever, the greatest reward for it ever, the best action, the best reward. What is it? It is an act of worship that is solely and completely for the sake of Allah. You're not after anything else but that. No worldly gain, whether it's halal gain or haram gain, nothing. And I'll give you an example. You go to Hajj, but you also go to Hajj, you go to Hajj for the sake of Allah, but on the way, you also use that time to make some business. You buy some things in order to come back and sell them and make some profit. Is that halal or haram? That is halal, because Allah says in the Quran, there is no harm upon you for whoever goes to Hajj and seeks benefit from worldly gains. But the highest rank would be to go to Hajj without any intention of gaining any business or profit, purely just for the sake of Allah, and you come back. That's the highest rank. Going to Hajj with the intention of also making business now comes to the second rank. The second rank. An act of worship for the sake of Allah, but you also get other halal benefits out of it. For example, a person fasts for the sake of Allah, but also for the health benefits that fasting gives you. Is that halal or haram? That is halal. So you're fasting for the sake of Allah, but you also would like to have the intention of gaining benefit from its health benefits. Now, inshallah, your fasting's still all well and good and you get top rewards, but it's not the highest rank. Another example, you walk to the mosque wanting Allah's pleasure, but you also want to do exercise. Might as well walk also, a bit of exercise for me. 2 birds with 1 stone. Very rewarding, but not the highest rank. A third example, you give in charity, but you also want your wealth to be blessed from charity. Because you heard Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, مَا نَقَصَ مَالٌ مِّن صَدَقَةٍ. Charity never has caused diminishing of wealth. So you say, wow, that gives barakah to my wealth. I'll give sadaqah for the sake of Allah, but also for my other wealth to be blessed as a result of the sadaqah. So you got 2 intentions. They're great intentions, but that's not the highest rank. It's a high rank, but not the highest. And I'll throw in another intention. You heard about the Prophet ﷺ saying, whoever connects his family ties, whoever wants their health to be better, and their wealth to be greater, and their life to be longer, connect your family ties and be good to your relatives and direct, relatives such as your parents, siblings, and direct relatives. So you say, you know what, I'm going to connect the family ties for the sake of Allah. There's a great reward, but also so I can gain what the Prophet ﷺ told me about, and that is extra life, extra health, and extra wealth. Great intentions, but not the highest rank. Of course, most of us are in that position. Number 3, there's the third rank. Let's say you had the intention for something that is worldly halal, a worldly halal act. That's the third rank. I do an intention in order, as I gave you the example before, I work and I apply for that job so that I can look after my family and livelihood. That is a good intention, but it's the third rank in the ranks. Number 4th rank, an act of worship that is mixed with ups and downs of showing off. So when you stand up on stage, let's say you want to give a public speech in front of people, or you're going to recite Quran as an introduction to an event that's happening, or you joined a charity organization, or an activity, an event at the mosque, or in the community that is helping people in the community in some way. You go for the sake of Allah, but as you're in there, you start getting praises, you get compliments, you go back home and you think, wow, I look good in front of that sister over there, and I look good in front of that marriage material brother over there, and so on. So you go there, and then your intentions start getting wibbly wobbly, a little bit of ups and downs. And so the next time you go, you think, I'm going to go because, of more praise. It made me feel good of what people are saying about me. So this is a mix of wanting something for the sake of Allah and getting stuck and mixed up with praises of people. It's always nice to receive praise, and it's good to be happy about praise. But now, if my intention is a mix of pleasing Allah and pleasing people at the same time, now my rewards are mixed. And the scholars differed about that. Some said, listen, if you go back home and you say, oh Allah, forgive me for their overpraising, don't hold me accountable for their overpraising of me, forgive me for the sins they don't know about me, and make me better than what they have praised me, then inshallah your intention is fixed. So you've got to always try to fix your intention to make sure the entire work is fully rewarded, inshallah ta'ala. So that's the fourth rank. The fifth rank, they are acts of worship and worldly, but solely and only for worldly gain. You do an act of worship, and it's also an act of worldly gain. So, whether it's praying and fasting, wearing the hijab, covering yourself, which is all acts of worship, and at the same time, you also do things for your worldly gain, but you do nothing for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. None of it is really for Allah. It's all for a worldly gain. Some people, they do that. All their actions are really for a worldly gain. So for example, the only reason I would go to a mosque and attend the prayers is because they promised me to pay me a fee. The only reason I'll go and pray Imam is only because I'm earning money. That's my sole intention. Or the only reason I went to Hajj is so that people can pay me to do Hajj on behalf of their dead relatives. And I turn it into a business. My sole intention is business. And everything else in my life is business. So my whole sole intentions for everything I do, whether worship or worldly, it's all business, all a benefit. I won't do it if there's no benefit for me worldly. Everything about it is, if there's no worldly gain, I ain't doing it. Why should I? They don't deserve it. Okay, what about for the sake of Allah? Lads, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Obviously, these are the people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَنْ كَانَ يُرِيدُ الْعَاجِلَةَ عَجَّلْنَا لَهُ فِيهَا مَا نَشَاءُ لِمَنْ نُرِيدُ. Whoever wants this fast life, then we will give them this fast life. Don't be fooled by people who you see getting so much out of this world that you think God must love them, they must be blessed, they must be doing the right thing. Oh no. Gaining and losing are both tests, and sometimes they can be a test which destines you to a punishment because you're failing in it. So be careful about the intention. عَجَّلْنَا لَهُ فِيهَا مَا نَشَاءُ لِمَنْ نُرِيدُ. We'll give some people as much of it for whoever we will. ثُمَّ جَعَلْنَا لَهُ جَهَنَّمَ يَصْلَاهَا مَذْمُومًا مَدْحُورًا. But then at the end of the day, he only gets hellfire, which he will be entering it with as a loser with no gain, because that was his intention. The sixth rank, acts of worship and non-worship solely for fame and showing off. So some people, they do it to gain, and some people, they do it for something aesthetic or feeling. So I just want to show off. I want my likes and views to go up. I want people to comment and more comments, and that's all really I'm after. So there's no actual money, it can be later, but it's for fame and reputation. And some of the signs of these types of people are the ones who, when, let's say, they go on social media and they say, I want to do da'wah. I want to say a hadith. I want to write a comment to help Muslims and people and guide them to the deen. But really, Allah knows that my intention is really just to look good. I just want praise. One sign of that, you find that I'm constantly going back to the comments to see what people are praising me with. And the only thing that makes me happy is praise, and the only thing that makes me upset is when somebody says something bad. And because my whole intention is really never for worship or da'wah, it's really about people and me. It's about me, myself, and I. So these types of people have also lost their rewards, brothers and sisters. There is a seventh rank. The seventh rank is where it's the worst. Actions of worship and non-worship solely for showing off, for worldly gain, and for sinful gain altogether. Everything. These are the worst types. All I'm doing is money, fame, and haram. Everything. Money, fame, and haram. And that's, be careful. I believe the majority of the world is like that. Money, fame, and haram all at the same time.